Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. A lot of you are asking me about how my mind works, and right now I am getting ready to start working on another portrait in my style, and this one, as you can tell, or maybe you can't, I don't know, but right now it's Eddie Izzard. And what I like to do is lay out my subject in this form first. Very loose sketch. As you can see, some geometric patterns that will be ultimately the guidelines for a lot of the doodle or squiggle or however you want to, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to take you guys on a quick little journey through 3 other ones that I've done and kind of show you how my brain works, has evolved at this point with these. This one is one that I did of a friend of mine named Michael Pilmer. He has his own YouTube channel. I've known him since 7th grade. He and I were in a kind of impromptu punk rock band of sorts for years. And I love how this guy's brain works. So in my style, when I started doing this, I realized that there were some Easter eggs I wanted to throw in here to kind of give mad props to my homeboy here. So sometimes what I like to do is stick in references of things that you may not necessarily get immediately. A lot of you can probably see the record. This is a form of a record here, and that would be the label of the record, and the record player needle being right there. And of course, all the ridges of the record swirl around. Because Michael is a big, not only just music fan, but he collects music and sells music on his eBay channel. And so a record had to be essential in this portrait somewhere because it's so integral to being who he is. And as you can see up in this corner right here, that area, there is a YouTube logo that I've kind of blended in as part of this as well to give props to his YouTube channel. And the further down I got, I decided with somewhat hesitation, Pilmer has not only been a big fan of Devo for years, but he's also worked with them on various projects and still does to this day. And so I wanted to give a subliminal kind of appreciation for that. So as you can see here in this piece that comes around, there's a D, and then down here there's an E, and then there is a V and an O. So down in this corner spells Devo. And these were the first kind of Easter eggs that I was putting in these portraits because I felt like they needed some kind of personalization to the whole process, and to make everyone different in their own way so that even 20 years from now I can look at it and go, oh, I remember who this is because I remember where all the Easter eggs are and what the references are for each portrait. So this was the 3rd portrait I did, but the first one where I really used an Easter egg. And so with that, I'm going to go on to the 2nd one that I did. For those of you that saw kind of the process of this one, I got everything from Angry Santa Claus to Da Vinci, none of which were correct. This one is Neil Fallon, lead singer of Clutch. And Neil's lyrics are just absolutely insane. And Clutch has been around for, gosh, almost 30 years now. And I saw them for the first time in 1994, I believe, with Prong. They opened up for Prong, and I have probably seen them live now 40 times in concert. So I have a great affinity towards this band, and Neil's presence and his lyrics and everything on stage are just inspiring and just off the chain. So because I had such a connection with this group, I had a lot of Easter eggs in this one. So they do a song, Shogun Named Marcus, and I tried to use his eyebrow a little bit as a samurai sword. Don't know if that really worked out or not, but that was the idea. So the samurai sword as an eyebrow. I believe it's DC Sound Attack is a song that they do where one of Neil's lyrics is, "I've got blood in my eyes and I'm looking at you." So in both eyes, I've got blood dripping down there. So that's the reference for that. One of my favorite songs that they do is Hot Bottom Feeder, which is nothing more than Neil's recipe for crab cakes. So if you haven't seen that video, you got to check it out. But here's a blue crab claw right in there. I also thought that, one of their most interesting songs is based on binary code. And the title of the song is 100011 10101. So as part of his beard, I've integrated a mechanical kind of 2D and 3D aspect, almost like a raised piece of metal, and a tool and die type operation there. A couple of songs about mice and gods and rats. So I've got a couple of rat tales in here to give rise to those. They've got a song that talks about release the Kraken. So I have kind of an octopus leg in there. Neil also is a Scorpio, and I believe it was on I'm going to draw a blank here. And on the mic, Scorpio, there is the sign for Scorpio right there, that M with a little arrow on it. Now I do a lot of stuff with arrows anyway from some old graffiti days, but that there is the sign of Scorpio. Elephant Riders was a big song that they did. So if you can see in the background, there's an elephant eye with a trunk and a tusk that comes down. And they do a lot about religion. And I believe in one of his songs, he talks about Kali or one of the other Indian gods. So I not only did elephant, but I also made it the elephant god, if you will, from Hinduism. I believe that's correct. Up in here, UFOs, Escape from the Prison Planet. He talks about alien technology, so I've got that in there. Their probably most well-known song is Space Grass. So one of the lyrics is Saturn is my rotary, so I've done Saturn there. I was going to try to put Jupiter in there as well because Jupiter Cyclops winks at me, but I just couldn't put it in. There's just only so much room I can work with. So maybe if I ever do another iteration of Neil, I'll have to put that in. Spirit of 76, I did an American flag down in here. One of the first, or actually I believe the first club that Clutch played in was the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. So I've got a clock that has 930 highlighted on it. Lots of other tachometers and odometers and things like that around here. My Rocket 88, fastest in the land. Careful with that mic, Wheezy. There's a mic right there. And throughout, you can also see parts of the flag of Maryland here and here. And I believe there was another spot somewhere where I put that in. I don't recall it where I've put it right now. And then I'm sure there's more in here that I'm missing. Oh yeah, they use orange amps. And this is the on-off switch for an orange amp. And that is a dial to turn the orange amp volume up and down. And lastly, one of the other, since this is 2020 and the year of COVID, and we were on such a short supply of toilet paper everywhere, every once in a while I'll throw in a toilet paper roll just to remind me what year this was. So again, these are kind of the Easter eggs that I will throw into a drawing. And this one was chock full of them for whatever reason, just because I had such a history of these guys in my repertoire, if you will. This one, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, Chris Lovez, but he is a Twitch streamer that goes by the handle of Sips. And I've been watching him for about a decade now, if not longer. And Sips plays a lot of various games, and I love how I love his personality. I love the games that he plays. I love just watching him. So this whole phenomena of why do people watch people that play games? It's really all about the personality of the person playing the game. So I know I got some hot spots on this, but just bear with me. I'll work through this. So Sips is from Canada originally. So I've got the Canadian flag, the maple leaf, up in this corner. One of his games that he played for a while, and the whole series is completely hysterical about him creating a human meat factory, was Fallout. And so if you look at the Fallout logo, this is the O in Fallout. So it's got that electric bolt that shoots through the O as part of the deal. I wanted to give rise to that. When I first started watching Sips, he was playing World of Warcraft with the Yogscast. And if you don't know who the Yogscast guys are, I highly recommend that you start following them immediately. But if you look at this with a discerning eye, you'll see that is a World of Warcraft logo right there. The W kind of peeks out from the side of the edge of the paper. Sips also is part of a 3-man podcast, and it's called Triforce. So Sips's character is this one down here, and then you've got Lewis Brindley, who is the originator of the Yogscast, the creator, if you will, and then you've got Pyrian Flax. So that is to give rise to the podcast there, and I highly recommend that you listen to that. He also has a pet turtle named Terry. Actually, I believe it's a tortoise, not a turtle. But anyway, I decided that for the headphones, and you can see the headphones here. For the headphones, I wanted to make one of them a tortoise shell. So it's probably one of the most dominant parts of the page. I probably could have integrated some more stuff in here to kind of camouflage it even more. But as I kept working on it, I realized that these things were very cool, and I just really wanted to make that like a central feature so that people could recognize, oh, that's a tortoise shell. Why is it in this? Well, you have to know Sips, and once you know Sips, you get that Terry the tortoise is really, part of the deal. Again, toilet paper up in here in this corner. Sips played Skyrim for a little while, and in playing Skyrim, he had an assistant that was an AI an AI non-player character, NPC, if you will, who joined his band, and this is Uthgard, Uthgard. So you can see her helmet and her eye sticking out behind him, and there's the ram horn that she had on her very iconic helmet. And you can see this is her shoulder armor with the neck guard. And if you look carefully, you'll see her sword coming up back here. Whenever Sips gets stuck, and then he has an idea on how to improve something in the game, he goes, oh, watch out, guys. Here comes Mr. Ideas. So here is a light bulb for ideas. I also have, he does a lot of Planet Roller Coaster. So there is a roller coaster construction for the other headphone up in here. If you look carefully, you can see, I think it's called Polybridge. And these are all the diagrams and everything for the engineering that you would need to build a bridge as part of the game. He also likes games like Prison Architect and a couple of hospital management games. So there's a floor plan of the prison cells. There's the bed and the walls and the bars and the walkway and things like that. Recently, Sips has been playing Among Us, which is very popular with everybody, but there's a stylized Among Us character that I've put in here, and I've layered it with all kinds of textures and reflections and things so that it's not as obvious. One of the other key things that Sips plays is Minecraft, and one of the things that he was really known for was the Minecraft Dirt Factory, Sipsco. So what I've created is the Minecraft dirt blocks, and you can see them being processed through this machine, which is his jawline, and it's coming out, and I put an arrow there to show the directionality of it. So dirt is coming out of his jawline, basically, as part of the deal. And then another rise to his Minecraft, if you ever watch his character, you'll notice that he's got a big blue square on his chest. So that was this piece right here, projected into 3D with all kinds of pieces and parts coming through it. But what makes Sips really interesting here is that this is the first one where I actually did the face kind of popping through all the mechanics and the biomechanical pieces and parts of this. And so I really, really liked how this piece was looking when I did my initial sketch. So I've integrated kind of the pieces and parts becoming either he's popping out or these things are suffocating him. But you can see the beginnings of the biomechanical bolts and wires and things like that kind of becoming one with the flesh, if you will. And so that's kind of where I left it. There's probably a few more references in here that I've forgotten about, but generally speaking, that's Sips in his totality right now. So working on my next one with Eddie Izzard, there's things about Eddie Izzard that I like. The very iconic cake or death jokes. I'm sure I'm going to put a slice of cake in here somewhere. His tales of Noah and the Ark. I'm probably going to put an ark somewhere in here. But Eddie Izzard just isn't a stand-up comedian. He's all about, now he's a politician. He's a man who is over time becoming more and more of a woman. So he's going through a whole state of change in his life. And so I'm sure I'm going to give rise to a lot of different parts of his character. He was going to be in the military when he was young. He has the joke about the parachuting transvestites that have fabulous makeup. So I'm sure I'm going to put that. I might put, parachutes back here with people floating down. Not quite sure. I haven't worked out the details yet, but But when I start out with these, I usually go top to bottom, left to right, or right to left, depending on which side the face is on. So with Neil, it was left to right, and with Sips, it was more kind of the edge of the face going in. So with Eddie, I'm probably going to start with the hairline and then work my way down. And my progress pieces usually get to from here to about the eyes, and then from here to here, and then I maybe even the lips, and then I try to do a last piece to show the completeness of it. So there you have it. I'm going to start working on all the different Easter eggs and the ideas as I get down through here. Don't know if I'm going to do with the nose and mouth exactly what I did with Sips. I'm thinking about this eye in particular, the triangle. I may try to make that the realest part, or maybe this eye is the real part that breaks through. Because as you know, Eddie has such beautiful eyes as a human being. And he has beautiful hair as well. So, but I'm not good at drawing hair. So it's going to be all kinds of biomechanical wires and strands and pieces of metal and things like that before it's all over with. But anyway, I just wanted to give a heads up to everybody and let them know, like, well, this is the starting point, and you wanted to know how my mind works. So join in the fun. Stay tuned for my next cast, where I'm going to get about down to here, and then I'll probably, it'll take me about 3 days, probably, if I work diligently. Maybe about 8 to 10 hours will probably get me to this point. So I'll keep doing process or progress photos along the way, and keep you guys tuned for the next steps. So thanks again, and we'll talk at you soon.